If you want to remove distractions in Photoshop without ruining the background, the patch tool is one of the fastest and most useful tools you can learn. In this video, I'll show you how to use the patch tool in Photoshop, and more specifically, how to use content-aware mode for complex backgrounds where normal retouching would usually fall apart. This is perfect for cleaning up busy images with edges, patterns, lines, textures, or uneven surfaces. And if this tutorial helps you, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more Photoshop tips just like this. Let's start by selecting the patch tool. You can find it in the toolbar and the shortcut is J. If you don't see it right away, click and hold on the healing tools until the patch tool appears. Once it's selected, look up at the top options bar. By default, the tool may be set to normal, but for this technique, we want to switch it to content-aware mode. This is the best choice when the object you're removing is sitting near complicated details because Photoshop will use surrounding image information to intelligently rebuild the area instead of just copying a flat texture. Now that content-aware mode is active, you'll notice two important controls appear: structure and color. These settings give you more control over how Photoshop blends the patch. Structure controls how closely Photoshop follows the shapes and lines already in the image. If you set structure higher, Photoshop will try to preserve straight edges, patterns, and the defined shapes more accurately. That is especially useful when you're working around fences, bricks, tiles, paving seams, or any background with clear geometry. If you lower the structure value, Photoshop will blend more freely, which can work better in softer, less structured areas. The color slider controls how much color blending happens inside the patch. If you notice strange color bleeding, muddy areas, or tones that don't match the surrounding image, lowering the color value can help keep the result cleaner. On the other hand, if the image needs a smoother transition between colors, increasing it slightly may give you a more natural finish. The key is to think of these two controls as fine-tuning tools. Structure handles the shape and pattern, while color handles the tone and blending. Now let's do the actual patch. First, click and drag around the object you want to remove. Try to make your selection just large enough to cover the problem area, but not so large that you include too much of the surrounding image. A tighter selection usually gives Photoshop better information to work with. Once the object is selected, click inside the selection and drag it to the area you want Photoshop to sample from. This source area should look similar in texture and lighting, and if possible, it should come from a clean section of the image that matches the surrounding background. When you release the mouse, Photoshop will calculate a smart fill and patch the selected area with the source pixels blended into the original image. This is where content-aware mode really shines, because it can reconstruct difficult areas much better than a basic copy and paste style repair. If the result looks good, you can press enter or return to finalize it. If it doesn't look quite right, don't worry. You can still adjust the structure and color sliders before committing the patch, which makes it easy to improve the result in real time. If the edges look too soft, raise structure a little. If you see weird color transitions, lower color a bit. Small adjustments can make a huge difference, especially on detailed photos. It's also a good idea to try a different source area if the first one doesn't blend well. Sometimes just moving your drag target a few pixels to a cleaner section can completely improve the outcome. This tool is especially helpful for removing objects from photos without making the edit obvious. Whether you're cleaning up a portrait, fixing a background, or removing unwanted distractions from a product shot, the patch tool can save a lot of time compared to manual retouching. And because content-aware mode uses Photoshop's intelligent analysis, it often does the heavy lifting for you. So to quickly recap, select the patch tool with J, switch the mode from normal to content-aware, adjust structure and color if needed, draw around the object, drag the selection to a clean source area, and let Photoshop build the patch for you. That's the basic workflow, and once you practice it a few times, it becomes incredibly easy to use. If this Photoshop tutorial helped you, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next editing guide. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.